Hi, my biome is the tundra, and before I start, I'll tell you what I'll be talking about, which are the abiotic factors, the biotic factors, the ecological relationships to the tropic cascades and keystone species. So yeah, let's begin. I'll be talking about the abiotic factors. The climate is below 0 degrees Celsius for 6 to 10 months of the year. The average temperature is negative 30 to 20 degrees Fahrenheit or negative 34 to negative 6 degrees Celsius. And for precipitation, they get around 10 inches per year. Location-wise, tundras are in places like Alaska, Canada, Russia, Greenland, Iceland, and Scandinavia, and include landforms like abundance of water, low rolling hills, and soft, porous earth. Grass is uncommon. Instead, there's rocky, wet ground. It's covered with low-lying brush. Next is biotic. Some producers include mosses, liverworts, algae, wildflowers, shrubs, sedges, and grasses. It also includes lichens, but they can also act as decomposers too. Some consumers are pikas, muskox, caribou, lemmings, Arctic hares and Arctic foxes, brown bears, Arctic wolves, and snowy owls. And some decomposers are fungi, bacteria, many insects, and lichen again. Here's an example of a food chain. A lemming eating lichen, then an Arctic fox eating the lemming, then a polar bear eating the Arctic fox. Next is ecological relationships. Two predator and prey interactions are a wolf eating a hare and a polar bear eating a lemming. Along with predator and prey interactions, there's also competition. One example of that is a musk ox and a caribou fighting for food since the food's so scarce. And along with that, there is different examples of symbiosis. For mutualism, the lichen is usually made up of fungus and green alga. The alga is photosynthetic, which feeds the fungus, and the fungus provides protection for the alga and collects waters and salt. Without the two of them working together, they would not be able to survive. For parasitism, ticks and tapeworms act like parasites. The ticks act like parasites to musk oxen, Arctic foxes, and caribou, while tapeworms act like parasites to wolves and caribou. And for commensalism, an example is the Arctic fox relying on larger predators like the polar bears to kill off their meals for them. And lastly, tropic cascade and keystone species. The keystone species in the tundra is the Arctic hare. The reason why is so many animals there depend on it for food, and since the food's already scarce, if they go gone, then everyone there would go hungry. Two examples of this are the polar bears and the Arctic foxes would decrease in population because there's less food, so more of them would starve. There'd be less food to feed all of them, which would send off a chain reaction of more animals losing population and gaining more population also. Humans also cause negative effects on the tundra biome. By drilling wells, they can thaw permafrost, and heavy vehicles can damage the soil. If we keep drilling wells, more permafrost will melt, making the biome potentially warmer, making it inhabitable for the organisms that live there, which would lead us to a tropic cascade. And that's the end. I hope it wasn't too boring.